So it was me and Charmander, and we were moving in the process of a move so terribly exhausting that we just could not be bothered to put up things like green screens or other things. We just decided to leave everything in huge piles all around the house as our pod dog Tun Tun just rummages around in the background. And you know what we ended up deciding to do, Lane?
What? What did you say to do?
Charmander just used flamethrower. We burned the whole house down. We collected the insurance check, and there's no way we'll ever get caught. Welcome, one and all, to this Pokemon After DARKRAI. This is an no holds barred, no nothing podcast. We're talking about Pokemon and hurt the ones we love. My name's Bret. That one there is the incredible edible Lane. Lane, say hi.
Say hi.
Lane, you're back. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. That's why you're going to be on my show as well. So the second time's the charm.
That's right.
But I always like to be a reserve for the After DARKRAI.
The treat so sweet, you gotta have it threes. There's
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if that one worked or not, but welcome back, Lane. So just a bit of news on the top. Last week we did not have an episode, as listeners will remember. It's just we've been so terribly busy. I've been terribly busy moving my family into the house with me. As anyone watching on Spotify or YouTube can clearly see, the green screen is not up. There's boxes upon boxes and stuff upon stuff all over the place. So enjoy seeing my back in the mirror.
Yeah, it kind of freaked me out at first because I was looking at you. I'm like, wait, why do I see all of you?
That's right. Sometimes I look into the mirror and wonder, is he me or am I him?
Yeah, life happens, man. I think we all understand that, right?
Sure. Gracie also is taking a bit of a sabbatical. Sure. Hopefully she'll be back here in a week or so, and we'll hear some more from her. But, we got to roll with the punches. The show must go on, as always. Just wanted to be clear, though, that nothing bad has happened to Gracie or myself or our relationship at all. We're still very much loving friends. But burnout is real sometimes. Sometimes you need a break. We have a scheduled vacation time come middle of summer. So when that happens, we'll have, I think we're taking 2 weeks off just in the middle of midst of summer.
Yeah, I haven't announced it yet, but I think I'm doing something like that too.
Yeah. I think it's important to recharge the batteries. It's hard to let go of especially the weekly shows, because your listeners expect to see that episode drop on the day and time that it drops.
So I've been doing it since December. I've already put out 150. I've done 150 shows.
That's wild. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, that's even when I'm sick, right now it's just allergies, but I have something is going up. Hey, Lane is sick. This is something you know what I mean? At least something. I still have to put my blanket on my head, type on the computer to get everything uploaded and everything. But I think I'm gonna put a vacation, we're all gonna do something, and because especially too, I think summer for everybody, you and I both just said this, I'm moving in 2 weeks, so my June's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
July, I have a bunch of kids' birthdays, and in August, I don't know how I swung it, but going to Go Fest of just a chaos of jamming a bunch of people in an Airbnb as much as
Congrats.
possible.
You'll have to see if you can link up with our representative Cody Mathis will be there.
No, absolutely.
Repping the DARKRAI.
No, that's 100% because I didn't plan on going, and then the Lured Up fam pulled me in. Jamal and them pulled me.
Hells yeah. You love those guys.
Lord, that'll be fun. My brother's skipping school. You'll like that. My brother's skipping school to go to Go Fest.
Hell yeah. Who needs
my mom and dad's school or going to New York to play Pokemon Go in. And I'm that's the dopest thing ever.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. We speaking of Pokemon Go, we just recently had a community day here. It'll have been, a week and a half removed from when this episode actually drops, but did you play Finnegan Community Day?
So not only did I do it, I got either double pink eye during it or the pink eye that's caused by allergies. So I was out for I was out for 5 hours. I had a cookout after, so I did the 3 hours of calm day and then like
Yeah.
the after stuff. It was the worst community day in the terms of my shiny odds I've ever had.
Oh
Uh,
no. How
yeah,
bad?
like
How bad was
200,000
it?
Stardust. I don't know what that goes to like catch wise, but I only caught 3 shinies. Oh,
Wow.
3 hours of just straight quick catching everything, and doing that, but then 2 hours of raiding. Did you play at all? Did you get to go like move?
Barely. Like I
Yeah,
said, I've been working on this move. We have to be out of the old house in 2 days. So we still got a couple loads we got to bring, and then we still got to find places to put all that stuff. So
literally,
it's
that's why I'm paying movers. As like,
Mhm.
it's funny. I'll say this is a real thing. I don't want to make this sound fake. There's a wrestling school of a bunch of people like that gain like that lift weights and everything, and
Yeah.
they also have a moving company where they use those people
That's that's
to.
perfect.
It's perfect. It literally is perfect. And one of
That's
my buddy
incredible.
owns it, so that's what they do. Is like it's like the Machamps in the Pokemon games that are like lifting your furniture off the truck and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, so all these guys are just like guys and girls are just going to come move my house. That
Hell
the moving
yeah.
company is
That's what I'm
these
talking about.
wrestlers here.
Get it. But in addition to like moving, we also have one of my kids' birthdays is on Saturday. So the day after we got to be finish being out of the old house, we also have to put on an entire cookout. So we got to get the house in order and everything out in the yard in order,
Yeah,
yard work. There's a pool that needs to be set up, which we're trying desperately to get up, but we're like missing pieces and stuff that somehow just completely fucking vanished. I don't
you're just going to put
understand.
out a hose in the yard and say go crazy.
I guess we're gonna figure it out, but
Yeah.
and we got the cookout there and trying to do all this stuff at once. It's a lot.
Well, it's trying to
Um,
do that stuff plus your normal stuff, right? Like life isn't on break. Like you still have your daily normal.
and on top of that, trying to record 3 podcasts. It's very easy, let me tell you. I'm a pro. Look at me go.
That's
Um,
exactly so. I did that yesterday, like when my voice was like this and just like my allergies, and I was up late. I'm just like, all right, 5 minutes show today, I guess. Like this is
it,
we're getting a
it
5 minute.
happens.
We're popping it's
Uh,
going out today. That can't all
that's
be hits, man.
That's what I had to do last week. I had to just be like, look, Gracie's busy. We kept having to push the recording date back, and I was busy also. And there's days when it's like, okay, it's time to record. I'm exhausted and can't move. And usually we just kind of power through it and get it done anyway. But like last week, it just wasn't happening. So I'm like, all right, let's just take a couple weeks off. We'll get re-energized and get back into it. But I, being me, couldn't do that. We got through
Yeah.
last week, got the PSA out that there was no show that week. Um, but I got to get another one in there. Like we can't just leave this thing dead on the vine. I got to
Sure.
put more. I got to
You got
do
it.
more. This
Those
is
Pokemon After
my
Darkrai people are craving it like some type of, I don't want
I
to say illegal drug.
I see. No, no, they shoot it directly into their veins.
Right in
They
it.
don't even cook it on a spoon first. They just shove it right in.
They see that and they go, I need that After Darkrai in
I
my
need
veins.
that in my body any way possible.
I'll tell
Uh,
you what, like with you guys too, like whenever a new show goes up, I'm waiting out. Like it would be like every morning I look, and if there's not a new show, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Like it's a
well,
bunch of crap. Like the amount of stuff
every
I have to
Tuesday,
like run around and do, I have to have shows.
every Tuesday. This when the show first started, it was a bi-weekly show, which just kind of fit in with the schedule because Let's Die, the His versus Hers Guide to the Apocalypse, the podcast, was
Yeah.
a weekly show. And then when that show went away, we became a weekly show. And then now that show's back and it's a bi-weekly show. So it's just it's always it's never a dull moment. There's
When are you
always
gonna do a daily show?
never, never in a
I'll tell you
million
what, man, it's
years.
it's gotten so much easier. Like that first month or two. But now like I have it all set up right. Like every single day I know what I'm gonna talk, except tomorrow. I'll tell you this is behind the scenes because where we don't have where the catch cup, do you PvP at all? Do you catch cup?
No.
So catch cup is usually like what you caught in just that season or what you caught that week. So there's no like top 10 or PvP poke, there's no teams because it just depends on
Luck.
what you caught that week.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything for next week because that's when the new season starts for Go. So there's Master League, but that's
whatever.
yeah. So like so for me, usually I do a breakdown, but yeah, like it's something I've really learned, and I think I told you this last time, is like trying to learn PvP for Go, because they're really going to push it this year, and it's a lot of stores are doing it, or not. Stores were trying to it, but they're failing, or they're struggling to now. But yeah, it's a different beast. I can learn card games pretty easy, but no, Go's a different animal.
Absolutely. You've been playing any card games lately?
Oh gosh, man, I'll tell you what, I play Magic 2 or 3 times a week. Like,
I'm
well, it's a lot
jealous.
easier when your job, like, you can clock out at the card store and be like, all right, time to, you know what I mean? Like, you're already there, your family's asleep. You throw down. No, every Friday I at least throw down, and then next month is going to be Lord of the Rings Magic Month.
Yeah.
And I am
We talked about
so
it
beyond stoked.
during your last appearance. We talked about Lord of the Rings in the One Ring.
I'm like, well, and since then too, I've got really into The Hobbit and back, like
Mm.
actually reading the book. Like I'm gotten into Lord of the Rings like itself.
Yeah. You're
So
ready to go.
yeah, ready to go. Still with like Pokemon, right? Like, so where we are, right? We're not too far away from NEIC, like the big Pokemon tournament in Columbus, which is now already maxed out at like 2,200 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
and it
lot.
was a day. They did it in a day.
That's a lot.
And there was wait list, and a lot of the pros I don't think could get in. Like there was, but the next Pokemon set, I have it pulled up right now. It's in like 3 weeks, the 9th, 2 weeks.
God, that seems so soon. It feels like Scarlet and Violet just came out.
Yeah, that was it was around the first week of April. So we're talking 2 months, where I used to like remember like 2 or 3 months, like magic sets. Magic sets are like almost once a month now. You're getting something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had March of Machines last month, Aftermath this month, Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like even if it's not for you, there's something being put out there. So no,
Yeah.
card game wise,
Don't get me started
I
on Aftermath. What a terrible
it
product.
it may have been the worst. It's bad, and like there's some good
Real
cards
bad.
in it, but like buying the product and like trying to sell it to people.
Yeah, pay full price for or near full price for this booster pack of 5 cards.
Well, and there's some $30 cards in it now. So some of like my people that like lottery tickets that are like, oh, maybe the $30-$40 card in it, where you can buy like Dominaria United and get like an $80 card or a, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we
Or you could
had
just buy
one of our
March of
big
the Machine.
championships last week where first place got a $130 card.
Oh, very good.
It was a promo Thalia and Gitrog. Like that
I
was
loved March of the Machine. Let me tell you, I just had so much fun with that set.
you know, I blame Pokemon for that, of like the team ups. Like, so team up was a set in 2019, and then Magic's like, man, that looks so cool.
I do love the team ups, but I was gonna say I just like cracking packs. Like it seemed like almost every pack I got, short of getting like 15 Nahiri's Warcrafting, I got something fun that excited me. Look at this sexy devil right here. Can you see that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I draft a lot. I bet you, and I'm not joking online, I draft 5 times a day.
Oh, by the way, this is for the audio listener. This is a collector's. What do you call
we call it Urabrask, but we put a period at the end.
Yeah,
because then there's Urabrask the Hidden. There's Urabrask from New Capenna. So this one was
Heretic Praetor.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember. And then this one is like just Urabrask.
Just Urabrask.
Yeah, because you can get the first one in that set. That was the confusion too. Is the specialty like part of the pack? You can
Yeah,
the other
yeah. This is the I forget. Was it oil? Like Phyrexian oil slick? Yeah, I believe so. It's kind of hard.
I can see it.
You can see my green screen inside the holo.
It's green screen in it, and it actually looks kind of sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I got my fancy Urabrask mono red commander deck. Oh, I can't wait to bust this thing out.
Yeah, so like one of my drafts will like turn it, like I try to like chain a bunch of drafts together to like not be competitive, but honestly just like, what is it? Just to have something to
have fun.
No, yeah, like it's literally like that's my Sudoku a day, or that's my crossword puzzle is like drafting March of Machines or March of Machines is actually one of the hardest drafts I've ever had, that it's so difficult to do. Like because the like the big cards, like the how bomby it is. But no, like that's Magic will always be probably my hobby from my hobby, which is Go. Like
Yeah.
I talk about Go every day. I have a show. I do, you know what I mean, like us. But
Mhm.
then I talk to Adam Tuttle about this all the time. His is Digimon, right? Like
He loves
gets,
those sexy angels.
and that's what. So and he like qualifies for big tournaments. But we all have Pokemon shows, and it's like
Yeah.
we have to have something to kind of like not fall back on. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, no.
Lorcana, I'm really going to be in Lorcana. I'm already really
The
like it's
hell's
the
that?
Disney card game.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it comes out in August. They already announced they're going to do big tournaments. It's already going to be in stores. The starter decks, they already looked at it, but it's going to be a competitive trading card game of Disney cards.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, Gen Con was having the first ever like get your hands a hold of the product, and it sold out within minutes. They gave a card for everybody for free at the Disney Con last year. Now it's like $1,300. But yeah, it's just like
That's
your
insane.
Lilo and Stitch deck or your Hades deck, or it's going to be huge. It's going to be
That's
really huge.
insane. That's crazy sounding.
But I'm a fan of all card games. Like I have given a lot of card games a chance. I will check them out to see, but that's what I'll tell you. Magic is the granddaddy. Magic will always be
Oh, sure. Yeah, it'll
the
never go
grand poobah.
anywhere short of WotC just throwing it into the dirt.
Well, that's why I said Pokemon's so good, because WotC made the Pokemon card game in the first early years. Like those are like some of the most collectible cards. So that's why they wanted an actual card game company to make it. So they had Wizards of the Coast do it. So
Right. But what I meant by that is like just like the aftermath thing. Like at a certain
yeah,
point,
I
too
think that's a
much
lot of
is too
Hasbro
much.
stuff too.
Sure. Why aren't we
Aftermath is
maximizing our
also a big
profits?
thing.
So it's a good thing. It's probably a good thing that Pokemon isn't under WotC anymore. And kind of just march to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah, it's like a Hasbro. It's like the big parent company stuff, right? Of like just pushing out. Like I remember seeing like how many cards we in the last 3 years we've gotten like quadruple amount of cards that we've gotten before. Like, well, people are buying them. That's what I tell people. Like, my job is the busiest we've ever had it. I'm pulling 8 to maybe 7 to 8 commander lists a day of 100 cards. Like, not including like people are really into it. People, you know what I mean? Like Magic and Pokemon. Like Pokemon's in a really good place right now with their stuff. Like, there's just more like people. 90% of people that buy Pokemon cards just have them to throw in a desk.
Here in
like,
about 2 weeks, I think me and best friend West, early adopters of this show, remember him? He was on the show. We're planning on doing a draft on our local store, so that'll be fun. That my return to competitive after 15 years, something ridiculous.
Yeah, because that's really when I started. Was 15 years ago as like a teenage kid. Like
that's when I quit.
all like that's what when I
That's
started. That's really when I started. Is like
making me feel old, Lane.
Well, that's why I just started young. Like I was really a teenager going to these card stores with these adults. There was another kid with me, and he qualifies for pros. And his mom, he was 11, would bring him a sacked lunch. And now he's been like one of the biggest like Magic guys in the state for.
That's awesome. So when are we starting a Magic the Gathering podcast, Lane?
I've done it. I literally like that's so at first was Magic was my hobby, and then Pokemon Go was I've kind of flip-flopped, right? Like I work for this company called EDH Rec that I do like videos for them every day for Commander stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So on their TikTok, I've done it every day for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Even I remember there was when I was in the hospital and I had to go to the bathroom of the hospital. This is probably a really bad story because like it shows like, oh, Lane, why are you stupid? But I went to the bathroom and I recorded a video.
Wow.
Like face up, so my gurney was down of like, hey, welcome back to a video of the day.
You already know Ellis Norn is busted, but this is why this is busted instead.
Exactly. And like when my daughter, I pre-recorded that when my daughter was born, but yeah, like if there was like an emergency, like I'll have to pull over, it's always in like a weird bathroom because they have the best lighting.
And 3 underutilized commanders for your
so I do a deck a day, and I do like one card, like the one commander, and then like 4 cards with it. So that's what Pokemon Go was kind of my way to like
That's the
not
fun
be a
in it.
card game,
That's
right?
the fun
Like
in it
this
for me
is
is the deck building, just having fun building a deck. I'm personally challenged. Our listeners are slowly tuning out because they want the Pokemon, but well, I promise we'll
card
get
games
to
and
it.
Magic now. Yeah.
Uh, but like I've challenged myself, like I want a commander deck for like a monocolor commando deck. Commando. I want a monocolor commander deck. One for each color. So I got my red Urabrass deck, which is smooth as butter. It's so sexy to play. And then I got there's a little boy in the background that's on the camera right now,
But you're doing what,
and
and that's
he's
why,
gone.
like, kind of like coming back to it, like that's why I got into Go because I was so into card games. I'm like, what's a not a non-skill, like, what's a random thing that I can just go walk in the middle of the day? You know what I mean? Like something that's just there is competitive, but something I can just run around and be stupid and go to the park for 3 hours and
Yeah, it's fun.
just hang out with my
Uh,
kids. And now my kids starting to love it.
I caught one shiny Fennekin. Is the short answer to all that to bring it full circle.
Yeah,
Like
so I got 3 and 5 hours, and you got like with the one like,
I
and
got
I now
I
my
just
whole
turned the
reason was to
game
get
on.
Stardust.
I just turned the game on once and checked everything around me, like the 10,
And
15.
you're like, boom, one, I'm done.
Got
Like
one. Well, I checked all of them, and then like I only got the one, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to like go anywhere and do anything, so at least I got one, and then
that's the
that
part I
was
really
it.
feel bad for. Some like I've been interviewing now everybody, like I've had a lot of guests on like talking about it. And it's the ones that it is a job. Like I want my game to feel like a game. And
Mhm.
I've talked to those people and I'm like you said with that shiny, think if that was your job of like, sorry, hun, I have to go make and upload a video of if I don't
Yeah,
catch 30 shiny Finnegans, I'm gonna shave my head off or shave my hair off.
I
Like
get it. I think I'm just gonna start a poke like an OnlyFans. What do you think? You think that'll take
the
off?
when you said you were going commando,
Yeah.
that's what I thought you were kind of
hmm
leading into.
Right now, yeah. I mean, you can't tell in the video, but I got no pants on whatsoever. It's one of those. They caught the execs with his
I'm
webcam
always
on.
terrified of like even if I wear short shorts
hmm
that I'm gonna like stand up or fall and then something's gonna happen. Like that's one of my most terrifying things.
Mine, mine is that I'll join a meeting with like the microphone unmuted and be like, "These motherfuckers, like these fucking idiots don't know what they're fucking doing."
That's why I always want to do like the IRL Pokemon Go streams and go to like really, really like the because where you and I are like close to it is not like it's not New York City, it's not LA, right? So if I went down some holler in the middle of somewhere like IRL Pokemon stream down this like weird area, like my IRL stream would be different than Fleece Kings or whoever, right? Like that's what I always thought about doing, but it's still like do my Pokemon Go show every day, and now we're starting to stream it.
Hell's yeah. Where are you streaming that at?
We've been doing Twitch, but because that's why, like, I tell you this too. Like, this is one of those things that I kind of like been working on. I want to switch to TikTok because I know TikTok a little more.
Well, that's
And
also like the place to be. It seems like that, or maybe Instagram. I
well, the
think
the reason is because TikTok is what I call the bag of chips. Is like you can find more. You like, well, you can't just watch one. So someone's on TikTok a while, but with
it's
Twitch, you have to
it's
be looking.
short form content, right?
Well, yeah, like if you just if it morphs your videos to Pokemon Go. So if you watch Pokemon Go, you're gonna find other people. Like you're not just watching the same people. We're on Twitch, like you have to find somebody.
Right.
It's better for small creators because you're not hidden, it just pops up to that person. So your stuff actually can get in front of them. But they have a minimum requirement of 1,000 followers.
Ooh,
Yeah.
a lot.
And I literally thinking before you got on, I was like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Like, how am I gonna like what's a clickbaity like and I'm not joking. I thought about using my master ball on like a Zubat of like I'm like, I wonder if that could get a bunch of views. Like, I wonder
Mm.
like
Oh
is it
man, there's
worth the
something there.
views?
There's something there. I caught you can't tell them what you caught with the master ball, right? Like you got to be like
You won't believe what I
you
caught
won't
with
exactly. I
yeah.
well,
Watch to the end and you'll see
oh yeah,
something.
you got oh geez, my green screen just kicked in on my shirt.
Love it.
NASA's taken off into Rotom's ass.
Yeah,
What
so
the hell?
that's what like I'm always thinking about, like what can I make it, like what can I do for the video? And it is like, if that's what I'm gonna get for literally that's what today, like I was working on it last night of like, because I can do Twitch and I've had a lot of like of our kind of friends and other creators and everything like kind of do it, but Go's really hard to stream, and I think TikTok's kind of like,
Well, what's big right now? Zelda. What's the Zelda equivalent in Pokemon? Like, what's a Pokemon
people
like?
play Scarlet and Violet, but right now it's you're cracking packs of Pokemon cards.
Well, I'm thinking for your short form, you'd be like, I caught Zelda with my Master Ball, and then it's like some, I don't know, elf Pokemon. I can't think of
Yeah,
one.
like I catch what it like. That's it's really like not a lot of people like, because Zelda, like a great example. You're playing, how many hours a day are people streaming that game? Hours, right? Like
Yeah,
8 to 10 hours. Where Pokemon Go streams last an hour or two maximum, because if you're only doing PvP, you can only do that for an hour because you're a max amount of sets. Or now if you're a only like you're streaming raids, well now you only have a max of 5 remote raids. So the average streamer of doing Pokemon Go is maximum an hour-ish. Like the BCW guys, like I know them, like they do an hour and a half because that's there's nothing else. Like there's
yeah.
no like at your house without getting out, and like the amount of like camera work. Like that's
The when I was hardcore streaming on Twitch, like after an hour, I was starting to feel it because like being like uh, I don't know how you like we talked about some of how you prepare for a show. When I prepare for a show, it's like a band going on stage. Like you gotta get the energy up.
yeah, you have your hype on, like
Gotta get hyped up. We gotta chug something, whatever it may be. Like gotta shoot it into the veins so you can
you
get
have
the
Tom
energy up.
thumping on by Chumbawamba.
Something. And then just yeah, high fiving people. Let's go, backstage and
I
they're like
used to stream 12-hour
shut up
days
and
on
do
the
your
average.
podcast. Yeah. I streaming is rough because where this is like a tight controlled environment where I can edit if something goes horribly wrong. I can't necessarily edit out terrible other people acting terribly, like if you're like doing like a multiplayer game or something.
Yeah.
And video editing is another beast. I've gotten better at it, but God, and then
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about today. I'm like, I'm gonna have to learn more video editing, and I don't want to, and it sucks. But yeah, Magic, I used to do 12-hour days, like maybe 8-hour days, like 3 times a week. And
yeah.
it would be because you could do the ladder. You can infinitely play Arena or a game of Commander. Like those Commander streams, they could stream for 6 hours plus
Yeah.
because it's just over the camera.
I mean, I love watching Tulare Community College, their games.
Well, it
It's a
depends on like
blast.
the people you have on too. Like,
Sure.
yeah, he has on like Post Malone, Game Grumps, all of those. He's had on the EDH rec guys I work
I
with.
didn't even know he had Post Malone on there. I'm gonna go
I
look at
think it's
that
like
after
one of
the
his first
show.
episodes, and
What
it's
a
one of
get.
those things too. Is like getting on those videos and like watching all that. Like those can be so long where like the Pokemon field we're in, there's no one's streaming Pokemon Go for 12 hours unless it's like part of a donation or part, you know what I mean, part of
Yeah.
the
And it'd be
grind
hard,
of
and
the
it's hard to stream it at like GoFest or something because people are probably playing GoFest.
Well, yeah, like that was too, and also like your service is bad. It's like you got to run and go somewhere. So that's what like I'm staying with a bunch of podcasters, and that's would be like, okay, that's cool. Like that's what we're all like, we can record. Some people are recording there. Um I do have podcasting equipment on the go because my old radio contacts of like the really old-timey voice recorder that you can carry around and stuff like that. So like going to do that on the go, but I just want to play. Like that's
Yeah.
I want something to go wrong and me be like, oh darn it! Like
You mentioned it earlier, but that Master Ball thing dropped a couple days ago. How was it pretty easy to get yours?
it took me about an hour or two.
Yeah, I don't have one yet.
So I think the fourth one, like when you go back, because it's a thing we've had the whole season. Your fifth page is like the hardest one is just like 3 excellent throws. The others just like catch some Pokemon, defeat some grunts. But this is what I'll tell people, and I really want to tell a lot of people this. I almost used mine because it was an experiment. So it's in your bag, and when you click on it, it says, "Are you sure you want to use this?"
Oh, that's good at least.
because it's people who are wondering, it's an auto catch, but what if you miss the throw? So
Oh,
it's an animation. I saved a video today. I'm going to talk about it on the show.
oh, that's pretty sick.
That it's like, and I guess in the Let's Go games, that when you throw it, an animation hits, so you literally
Is
can't
it
miss.
is it Let's Go or is it Mass? No, it's not Wish Granted. What's the
Well,
name of
yeah,
the
no,
special
it's Let's
research?
Go. It's
It's Let's
Let's Go.
Go. Okay.
Wish Granted is the one. No, I will never finish.
No,
Maybe
nobody will.
like the Kecleon. I'm stuck on the Kecleon one.
I'm stuck on the one that's like make 8 billion excellent throws.
Oh, you're past me then.
Yeah, I just gave up.
That's mine. As I can't catch the Kecleons. I never see them. So the Master Ball is one of those like trainer club. I literally watched the video because I wanted to see how it worked. Nobody nobody saw how it works. So yeah, once it click it, it's and I know my son's gonna use it on something dumb. I know
You
like my
got
son's
to
gonna use
record
my
that. That's good content.
yeah,
Look,
like that's my son's gonna and it's gonna be like, are you sure you want to use it? And he's like, yeah, like there's this young goose here that I want to catch, Dad. Like, what if it runs? Like,
that's
no,
amazing.
like that was been the big thing. And I did a whole season review ago because I know with After Dark, right? You guys are like all Pokemon stuff, right? Like it's not just it's like
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
all the
I mean,
different
there's some
Pokemon.
things we kind of skip over. Like we don't really do a lot of. I don't know, Cafe Mix or Masters
Do you
EX
unite?
or yeah, not really.
I've
No,
never really done it.
we've talked about it on and off. I've played it. I feel like I need to play new releases just to kind of form an opinion or at least an
That's when I
initial
started
opinion
listening
on
to you guys
things.
is when that game came out, and you're like, I'll get to it one day.
Yeah, I'll get to it one day. Yeah, I when it came to Switch, I played like 3 matches and had no idea what was happening whatsoever, and eventually gave up.
Maybe you'll be a pro Pokemon sleep guy. Maybe they'll be the
Hell no, I ain't buying no $50 peripheral whatevers to sleep with. They don't
uh
need my sleep data.
they'll get mine if they make a Pokemon CPAP machine and
I'll
like
get that from my girlfriend.
yeah, like because I snore like a train. Give me that CPAP. I already ordered that Go plus whatever like
Yeah.
hour it was out on pre-order.
Nah, I'm at the point where they ain't even getting my money for a scam box and go. I ain't giving them my money for
Did
Pokemon
you see
Sleep.
what was released today? The store? Did you see the web store?
No, I got the email, but I didn't look at it yet.
So the web store is basically a way for them to cut cost that if they make it as a browser, then they're cutting out the like Apple and Google store fees,
Hmm.
which Fortnite really got in trouble with it and took the game off like one of the app stores.
Yeah, I
But
remember
they're
that.
still leaving Go on. You can still buy within the app. So that's where like the difference was with Fortnite
Hmm.
is with Go, you can still buy stuff without the app. But then like this is what people say too. Now you can use PayPal. Now you can use PayPal after like now you want to buy 9,000 bajillion coins on your Peepaw's credit card. Go nuts. Like, well, of course. Yeah. So now the web store is like they're giving incentives to like cheaper boxes. I was looking at it today. It's I'll
um,
buy star pieces and whatever.
yeah, I'm not doing that. They lost me a little bit. Like I'm still kind of on sabbatical after that terrible tour we had this spring.
Yeah, the Hoenn tour was really weird.
Mhm.
It and like the stuff that happened there. I did a whole review of like the game from March to now of like this whole season. And I did that last Friday. And it was like giving letter
Pardon
grades.
me
It was
while I
real
give birth to a dog.
pod dog coming out of birth.
Yeah, I mean that angle was not flattering at
It
all.
will
It
look like you did full
literally
like
look. Yeah, she came crawling out from under my desk. Oh,
it
I'm so sorry.
well, I because I remember like we had this Ditto event in the beginning of this, and I'm like, well, that's weird, right? Like, well, that's odd, like having a Ditto event. Like the events were just different. Like the new releases were weird. There was no like it was fine. Like I had fun, but it's kind of one of those things is like yeah, some of the stuff was really great, some of the stuff was not the best. I'll tell you, I put up actually a poll on Twitter that I think that's what's tomorrow is I've had 400 people vote almost and 76% said they hated it.
That's more engagement than this show's ever got ever, and it's like 2.5, 3 year
I thought I was
history,
going to get 5 votes because here's what you got to think about.
4 year history.
That it's you got to think people want to voice their hate. That I knew if I put like, why did you hate this? They would let me know why they hated it.
Do that and then say, why do people hate After DARKRAI? And it's because the show's not worth leaving a rating and review. Why bother?
29 comments. I don't even know how to look at my reviews. I say it all the time. I don't even know how to look at reviews. So I had to have another creator just read me my reviews. They wouldn't tell me how to do it, but they read them to me.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, you can't underestimate someone trying to be like, I want to tell you why this thing sucks and I want you to know. So I knew that was going to kind of happen because there was probably like a couple people where it's the red lens of the Hero Scientific stuff and but the rest of it, no, it was fine. I think this summer is going to be good. Hopefully, I think that's just a hope, but also a dream.
So, here's the latest review for After DARKRAI. Not including. Okay, well, here's the latest one. I do not have a vested interest in this as an impartial reviewer, but I both love and hate it. Step Potter, what are you doing to me?
Oh my gosh.
That was written by me.
Oh my gosh.
The one before that says, love this show. I love this show not because my son makes it and not because I'm coerced to do so. It's very funny. ... So,
yeah,
thanks,
see, that's
thanks
what
for
I'm saying.
that
I don't even know how to read those.
Thanks for that loving review, Dad.
Yeah, like I people like I know people will leave reviews. I set up the voicemail thing, so I'm really wanting some drunk voicemails to the show. But it's gonna be the show. I just call my show the perfect pooping show.
Do you think that GoCast realizes that the drunk hillbilly that keeps calling their phone line and leaving them messages that make no sense is actually me in disguise?
It's funny you say that. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. So Learn Up, you and I've talked to them before. They do have a drunk guy that there was one he talks about in the show. It was St. Patty's Day. They had someone just be absolute obliterated, and he wants like talking to him about it. Like they do have drunk people, and yes, probably Chris knows it's you because you probably
no way. There's no way he knows it's me.
That's what I can't wait for is like having the drunk people call in because that's what like when I did morning radio, the amount of people that called in was saying weird stuff.
Sure, except you're going to be replacing like politics or whatever's in the news with Pokemon stuff. I could have caught me that damn shiny Mega Rayquaza, but motherfucker ran on me.
Back in my day, we didn't have Master Balls. We only had regular Pokeballs.
Come back to me, Sheila.
It was one of those that they totally know you're the drunk uncle that you're everybody's drunk uncle that calls into shows and lurks in the back. You're like me. I lurk in the background of all these Discords you and I are in. I will never say a word. I'm just
in too many Discords. It's so hard.
Pop up.
It's so hard. I can't even show up when I'm added because half the time I just don't get the notification. But you gonna do these shadow raids that debuted as of this recording last week?
Many.
Have you?
So, well, I told you I had pink eye on Monday.
Right. So what's the verdict on these?
I didn't feel bad, but I couldn't like go do things. So I'm like, you know what I'm gonna go do?
Shadow raid, of course. Why not?
They're different. You can solo the 3 stars mostly. The 1 stars take you 2 seconds. You can have a stack of like the purified whatever thing. You can have a stack of 10. It's fine. It's really fine. I think it's good to like chase the shadow that you want. I think only having 5 stars, like, because it's only I can have it up here this weekend. This whole thing's only like a couple. It's 10 a.m. to 8 on Saturday. And that's their 5-star. So that's probably you gotta have probably 5, I would say 4 to 5 people.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's one we already have. Like if you already have Shadow Mewtwo.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I think so, I might,
like
might
most
even
of us
2
like,
or something.
I'm like, like I'm more interested in the 1 stars than I am the because how many have I done? I bet I've done 15 to 20 of these shadow raids.
Hot dog.
Well, because I told you this, I have younger kids, so when they sleep in the car, old dad says, "Let's go get some ice cream and do some shadow raids." Like,
yeah, sure.
So yes, I've been firing out
3 Shadow Mewtwo's. I'm good.
I stopped at 6 just so I could have a team of them because they're like the best raid attacker. But with the Shadow, no, it's fine. The 1-star, I think the 1-stars are cool. I really think like some of the stuff for GBL and some of the stuff for PvP and stuff like that, that's cool. And like to get a shiny. But these 3-stars, there's only one of the 4 you can get a shiny. So what? For me, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I got 19 total Mewtwo. I am good.
Well, that's why I said like
the 1-stars are Poliwag, Machop, Bellsprout, and Beldum. Beldum would be sweet.
Yeah, I've done a majority of Beldums. I like the Bellsprouts a lot too, but you can get that right now. But that's what within this start of the event, I was done within an hour. Like I got the Master Ball, I already did a bunch of raids. There's no special spawns. So I'm like, okay, like what do I do till next Wednesday? Like because that's what this is. It's not over. We don't get the new season stuff till next Wednesday. So this event ends Sunday. So I really want to know if we're still going to get shadow raids or if this is going to be just a special thing during this event. Like, is this a debut of them or is this you're only getting them
every once in a while?
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. It doesn't hurt. Like I said, like I'm not super inclined to like go out of my way to do one at all, but like it doesn't bother me that they're in the game either.
Do you have a lot of Stardust? I bet you have a lot of Stardust.
Oh yeah. I'm a Stardust in there. 2.6 mil.
Yeah, I keep around 5,000.
Yeah, I got but you're powering stuff up. I'm not.
Yeah, that's why I just PvP. Like that's what like I was doing some for like doing the raids, but literally for PvP, you can use 1 million a week average.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like getting the right teams, getting the right stuff. Like it's 1 million a week average.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a break, Lane. At the other end of the break, we got to talk about a Pokemon as decided by our lovely, wonderful patrons: Cisco M, Ken P, Mom Mine, Stephie L, Steve S, and Skillet. So when we get back, we will talk about those. Thank you so much, patrons, and we will see you on the other end of this totally real, totally not at all improvised and pre-recorded ad. This show is brought to you by Tyranitar workout videos. Look, when you need to hit the gym to get your pump on, you don't want to mess with this one or this one, because baby, they're twins and they'll rough you up. Tyranitar exercise video gyms will give you the sweat. You'll be sweating like, whoa, that man's got calves for days. You'll be lifting them weights and you'll be weighing. Why you didn't do this sooner?
Get your calves
this is
rock solid.
This is clearly video of like fucking track and field sports. This is no longer gym stuff. It was people lifting weights.
But this is what happens when you lift the weights. You turn into this. Like you're not just gonna waste them.
You become super active. Aerobics, muscles, pecs, muscle thing. Oh, you get that sheen all over your skin. Burn them calories and sweats and convert your fat into muscle. Don't you want to look like you can wash clothes on your chest and then like dry them with your cheeks? Look, don't you want to look like you can never scratch that itch on your back ever again? Don't you want to be
Tyranitar-rific?
You want to be Tyranitar-rific? Look, when you sign up for these 7 individual VHS tapes that you'll never be able to play because you can't find a VHS player, except for the ones that are like $300 on Amazon, you will become so jacked and ripped that you can throw a mountain into the distance with new Tyranitar exercise tapes. Don't be a fat scyther.
This was maybe the best video I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, check it out. And we are back from our break. Surely, whatever it was top quality content.
I just can't stop looking. Oh, me.
Oh, what a world we live in. Thanks, no copyright 80s workout royalty free synthwave.
I wonder what that's used for now. Like,
let's just go to the gym and get some B-roll of jack dudes.
Like, remember when people used to go to the gym?
No. Oh, you mean before 2020? Yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s.
No, I don't remember that. I was a baby.
Yeah, like that's gyms aren't for me. I get too bored.
You're already jacked, of course. Like you're bored. You've conquered it. You've claimed the crown and you retired walking into the sunset.
No, I used to like swim, and the whole time I would literally think like, what magic deck do I want to build? What Pokemon Go thing this week? Like, it'd be the whole time of like, okay, now I'm done.
You're like, I cryptic command your win condition, and then what's this? Shock to the face, you're dead.
Yeah.
Freeze frame, jump with the fist in the air, and roll credits.
And then that's it.
That's it. Folks, we got to roll a random Pokemon that's not at all random anymore because our lovely patrons picked it. Let's do it. This one's going to be an easy one to get. Lane, it's number 9. Number 9. Do you know who number 9 is?
It's either Charizard or Blastoise, right?
It's Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon, not the turtle Pokemon.
Wait, it's a shellfish?
That's according to Bulbapedia, it is the shellfish Pokemon.
Shuckle?
Shuckle? Let's find out. Shuckle's like a worm.
Yeah, but like if that's not a turtle or like
no, it's the mold Pokemon.
What?
What's Dreadnought?
That's what I'm saying. Like if Squirtle and Wartortle and all those aren't the turtle and they're the
Dreadnought is the bite Pokemon. What's another? I know we got a lot of turtles. So what's another turtle? Help me.
Turtwig may be a turtle.
Turtwig. Squirtle is the tiny turtle and Wartortle is just a turtle. Blastoise is the shellfish. Make sense of that how you will.
That's so weird.
Turtwig is the tiny leaf Pokemon, which I guess is fine because he eventually turns into like an Ankylosaurus.
Oh yeah, here's a bunch. There's a video now for full turtle team. There's I forget the egg, the blue egg.
Torkoal. Oh, Torkoal, of course, naturally.
Yeah, there's the blue egg that I can never remember. Now to click on.
Oh, it says Torkoal is the coal Pokemon, so nope, not a turtle.
Now to go through this YouTube video.
Only Squirtle and Wartortle are turtles.
Caracosta.
That's a bit. Caracosta. Can't spell that one. Caracosta.
All words are made up. Just type as best as you can.
I don't know how to do this. There it is. 2 R's. That is the Proto-Turtle Pokemon. So the Proto-Turtle.
Oh, wait. Pokemon. Yeah, so at least it has turtle in it.
Yeah, they both. So is Tortuga. So does that mean that Squirtle and Wartortle are like the future versions of Tortuga and Caracosta?
That's so weird to me. That's why I love like when you guys do this because I'm like, I had no idea.
Yeah, so I guess like if you Scarlet and Violeted, Tortugas would be in the past, and I guess Wartortle would be in the future as the regular. I don't know. But anyway, Blastoise is a shellfish, so crack its shell open and slurp out the goop. Is that what shellfish are? Is that is a clam a shellfish? Oyster? Mussels?
I would never know.
I'm like an animal guy too. No, not necessarily. So like crustaceans are also shellfish. So there you go. So lobsters, crabs, prawns, not turtles.
Not turtles.
I think the problem here is that they put fish after shell. We're spending a lot of time on this. So look, normally we start at the initial form when we get an evolution. So we would normally start with Squirtle. However, we're not going to do that today because there's already an episode devoted just to Squirtle. Before we did entire families of Pokemon, we did each individual Pokemon. We really was trying to milk this fucker out. But eventually we gave up on that and started doing the entire families. But there is an episode called Make 'em Squirtle. Enjoy that gem blast from the past. It's back in the library. Go look
So
at
does
it.
Wartortle need love? Or are you just
Wartortle does need love, and that is where we will start with number 8, Wartortle, the turtle Pokemon. As soon as I can get to it. Often hides in water to stalk unwary prey. Swimming fast, it moves its ears to maintain balance. When tapped, this Pokemon will pull its head, but its tail will stick out a little bit. So when you tap tapping the card uses the ability of the card.
Yeah, that's the waking up.
Yeah. So you tap your Wartortle. Don't forget, you can only untap it again during your next untap step, unless another card makes it untap early. Or
unless another Wartortle says otherwise.
If you get it to learn Vigilance, it doesn't have to tap at all. To attack, anyway.
It doesn't have to tap to attack.
Nope. The tail is covered with a rich fur. It stores air in the fur before taking extended dives underwater. Do you think it knows Cascade? If it is recognized as a symbol of longevity, can you believe the first sliver exists? Jesus Christ. Anyway, it is recognized as a symbol of longevity. If its shell has... Because every single time you cast any sliver, they all have fucking Cascade. And guess what you're going to get? Nothing but slivers that also have Cascade.
After Darkrai the Magic Podcast.
It is recognized as a symbol of longevity. If its shell has algae on it, that Wartortle is very old. It cleverly controls its furry ears and tail to maintain its balance while swimming. A lot of the same. The scratches on its shell are evidence of this Pokemon's toughness in battle. It is said to live 10,000 years. It's a long time. Yep. Is that all?
Turtle stuff.
That's it.
Maybe that's why like Wartortle and Squirtle, like there's a lot of abandoned because like if you've never bought a turtle, they tell you to figure out who after you die to give it to.
Yeah, they say the same thing about parrots.
That parrots live forever?
Yeah, they do. They can live over 100 years.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll get you. But yeah, turtles are the same way. Tortoises. Even though Wartortle's ears are depicted lighter than its face in the original Sugimori stock art and most of its game sprites, early promotional pictures portray its ears as the same color as its face. Its design appears to be a stylized turtle. Who could have guessed? Its feathery tail is a reference to Japanese legends of the Minogame, a turtle which lived for 10,000 years and grew a tail made of seaweed. The use of its tail to store oxygen seems to be a reference to certain turtles that breathe through their cloaca, placed near the tail. The tail also resembles wind waves. So yeah, did you know that? Did you know that, Lane? Did you know turtles can breathe out their butts? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, some of them. Probably not all, but some at the very least. Wartortle, this is a fun fact that's not in the trivia that I know, that I don't know why it's not in here. Or I guess it's not confirmed, and we'll never probably know for sure, but like Wartortle was a separate Pokemon by itself, and you had Squirtle and you had Blastoise, and whatever that middle evolution was with, maybe Game Freak just wasn't happy with, and they just kind of moved Wartortle over to be that bridge.
That's really weird. I didn't know that. Like just Wartortle by itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at all three of them in a line, there is the only through line obviously is the color and the fact that they're bipedal turtles, but like Squirtle turns into a Wartortle, gets these weird like Greek feathery wing ears, like I don't know, what's that guy from
I just see him as an old man, like when old man get hair out of their ears.
Yeah, except he's a middle stage evolution, and he also gets a big fluffy like squirrel tail, which you think, okay, that's an advancement on Squirtle's squirrely tail. But then you get the Blastoise, and that tail is suddenly just a normal turtle. Yeah. Like it goes from Squirtle tail to Wartortle long feathery tail to Blastoise normal turtle.
Yeah, I
tail.
guess that's weird. Yeah.
And he also entirely he goes from having no ears, being a bald baby Squirtle, to feathery ears to normal turtle head. Like, well, I guess turtles don't really have like ears that poke out like that, but it's like kind of reptilian, almost cat-like yin yin ears. But they're definitely not. They don't fit with the long. You'd think they would have given it like a long, like feathery mane or something that goes down the back of the shell. Like make him Bowser. That's what he should have been.
You just want a Bowser?
I don't want Bowser. I want Bowsette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then like, or like you could go the other way with it. Like Wartortle has no nothing related to Blastoise. Like they should like Blastoise has those two hydro cannons on the end of each shoulder.
Yeah,
like
you think there would be one cannon?
right, like Wartortle should have like one little cannon poking out from behind his head, kind of like an old school Transformer, like the like Brawl or
Sure.
Blitzwing. They got the tank, thing come up behind their head. Like do that. Or give him like a wrist gun. Pew pew. But there's no like they're just weird. I don't know. But I love all three of them. They're great.
Yeah, like I
I'm
didn't
not
think of War
shitting on
Turtle
them.
like that. You learn from this show.
Yay! Mark it down in the history books, folks. Speaking of Blastoise, it has two other forms, including Mega Blastoise and Gigantamax Blastoise. It's the final form of Squirtle, evolving from Wartortle at level 36. Again, the shellfish Pokemon. First off, Mega Blastoise. Awesome. Looks great.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You combined his two shoulder cannons into one giant massive Genesect hump cannon, and then you gave him two wrist cannons so he could blast more fools. Now the Gigantamax Blastoise is a chef's kiss. Mwah.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful. It is a full-on Navy destroyer gunship, and it is cool. That thing fucking rules.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll
Go
ever
nuts.
put those into Go. Like if there's like that'd be easier than some of the other ones.
They're definitely going to, but in another 18 years, when they're tired of milking megas for all their work, we're gonna get Gigantamax. 100%. You can bet your last dollar. And then after Gigantamax is over, guess what? They're gonna go straight to whatever Scarlet and Violet have. They're gonna Terrorlast
Yeah, some people think like because that's the thing too. We still have like the Alola of like the Z moves if they do those, which I think they're gonna skip those.
I think that's something that's going to. I don't think they're going to skip it. Like they're going to get squeeze out every last bit of content. They will not be worked the same way that they did in Alola. It'll be.
There wasn't one specific like move for the ones, right? Like
it was
like
by
with
type.
Megas, we only have X amount, right? Like with Z moves, everything got Z moves, right?
Yeah, they could all like share like special like Z move attacks, like based on whatever elements they represent. So like all the fires had like a fire type Z move or whatever. But like that's what they'll do is like you can teach your Blastoise in Go whatever the water Z move is if you collect enough whatever bullshit resources in order to craft a Z move watch that you then spend on your Blastoise to teach it a Z move, a powerful Z move.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, and then like you can go right to Dynamax then of like.
Yeah, I mean they already have TMs in the game, so this would just be like a special TM that's even more of a pain in the ass to get to teach your Pokemon Ultra. And you're gonna want it because it's gonna be like super powerful, so it'll be good for not just PvP but raids. So like everyone will want one. So I mean, there you go. It'll work.
Agreed.
And then eventually we're gonna get once Gigantamax runs its course, we'll get to Terrestrializing. Guy, you think they're milking megas because there's only X amount of megas? Like every Pokemon can Gigantamax, so even if they don't have a Gigantamax form, you could still put I don't know,
big guy.
You can put you can put a Haunter in there and boom, it's a Gigantamax Haunter with the little clouds and it's giant, right? Like easy.
Yeah, it's like where the specific ones have it, right? Like Megas, we still don't have like I think there's like 6 that we still don't have or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're like you said, they're milking. I want to know when that started. When did we get our first Mega and Go?
It feels like it's been a while. It feels like it's been going on forever.
Like 3 or 4 years.
It feels like it. I don't know that that's
August
accurate.
2020.
Holy cow!
And we
Dang,
will
that's
have them
crazy.
all.
Um, I guess that's right. Like, I guess if it was me making the game, I wouldn't want to have them out the door and then be done with them within 3 years.
Yeah, but 3 years is like it's a while. You know what I mean? Like that you're wanting your player base to
Yeah, I mean
because
it's
we're
definitely
still
worn
missing the
thin.
big one. This is like when they know they're going down. This is when they're gonna drop their hot toddies. That's their like Mega Rayquaza, their
Rayquaza.
Mewtwo's.
It's mostly Rayquaza. Let's
I
be
think Mewtwo
honest.
as well. I think Mewtwo would be like another one right around like
I think Mewtwo would also be super popular, but I don't think any of them hold a candle to
no.
Rayquaza. Like
Rayquaza is gonna
Rayquaza,
be like
yeah.
the
Like people will come back to the game for Mega Rayquaza. I think.
yeah, because I remember that's what we thought with Hoenn. If you listen to my show back then, I thought that was the whole point. I was like, the last hour they're gonna give us Rayquaza, and then we're gonna have to like do something. They're like, ah, nah, man, like they know what they're doing. Like
I
we're still
fully
missing
expected.
Gallade, we're
I
still
also respect.
missing Diancie, Aldino, all
Mhm.
those megas. We're missing Heracross. I think we're missing Tyrannid. We're missing Sableye. So Sableye is like my favorite mega. So I know we're
It's
not gonna
great.
probably get that till October. Like,
Probably. But sooner than later, I think for that one. Deontay's a weird one because it's like a mythical, so
that's
who
probably gonna be
knows?
Go Fast. That's what everybody think.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be Go Fast.
yeah, that'll be a while.
Like that and
Uh,
Carbink, whatever. Like that'll be the
I
which I
love
didn't know
Carbink.
too. Like Diancie's a special Carbink form. I didn't know. Like I learned in the
Yeah,
lore
it's
today.
like their queen. Carbink
Jeez.
rules. Blastoise is a brutal Pokemon
Oh
with
yeah, we got
pressurized water jets on its shell. They're used for high-speed tackles. Once it takes aim at its enemy, it blasts out water with even more force than a fire hose. It has spouts extending from its shell at the top. They spray water like cannons hard enough to pierce concrete walls.
so it could
Which it
go through
does.
houses.
I mean, if it can pierce concrete walls, it can pierce your house, unless your house is built with grade A steel.
So Blastoise is a terrible firefighter because it would just like
It would destroy your house.
yeah, it'd be like you're
Yeah.
welcome. No more fire
Yeah.
in your house is like
I guess it would have to like angle it up so that it like just
it's
deluges
raining
like
down.
pours down. I don't know if that would be great in all scenarios, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. Like, do you
No, that's
want to
all I can see
be?
is like your house is now demolished, but it's like now it's not on fire. And he goes, "You're
Yeah,
welcome."
yeah.
Like
Like, do you want to get your skin pressure washed off, or do you want to burn to death? It's kind of your choice.
you're
It
too.
deliberately makes itself heavy so it can withstand the recoil of the water jets it fires. The rocket cannons on its shell fires jets of water capable of punching holes through thick steel. So remember when I said grade A steel? That is no longer correct. Is steel, so you can't even see Blastoise fuel can't melt skyscraper steel. Never mind. Um it firmly plants its feet on the ground before shooting water. It deliberately makes itself heavy. I already said that. They can shoot bullets of water with enough accuracy to strike empty cans from a distance over 160 feet. So hold on. You have these water jets that can punch through steel, armor piercing water jets, and you're accurate enough that you can strike a can from 160 feet. Blastoise is like, who gives a shit about Drizzile or whatever that other one was called? I'm trying to remember. Inteleon. No,
Inteleon, yeah.
who cares about Inteleon? Can Inteleon hold a candle to that?
The sniper feet. Well, I like that. Like Blastoise can make himself just thick. Like time to make myself heavy.
We're
Are you looking up how far Inteleon can shoot? Is this
yeah.
the
I'm
science of the
looking how
show? I
far
need to go
Inteleon
read
can
it.
shoot or any force. Let's see. Its fingertips can shoot water. Gross. It's disgusting, and I hate it. The water that it shoots from its fingertips is Mach 3. Mm.
I just know that's more than Mach 2. That's how I know. I'm like, that's more than Mach 2. I don't know what that means in real world worlds. Nope, those aren't it either.
Um. Okay, so Mach 3 is 3 times the speed of sound. So I'm
You're just telling me like a doubloon is worth 3 Chumbaloompas and 4 Chumbaloompas are equal to 10 Schmeckles. Like you're giving me words
there
like
you go, got some schmeckles.
that's all I can think is like one thing's equal to this thing, which is equal to 10 of this thing.
So basically, Inteleon can shoot its finger gun, and the projectile travels 3 times the speed of sound.
All I can think is that Charlie Sheen movie where the aliens can pee from their fingers.
That's insane. That means every time. That means every time. What was that? Scary Movie 4
It
or 5
was.
or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was something like that. And it was like
yeah.
they could pee from their fingers. That's all I
And
can think
then, yeah, that's a great joke. Love Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen saves the entire world by accident, just by opening a door and knocking that girl in the fucking well. But no, so like every time he shoots his finger gun, it would immediately shatter like every window within the vicinity,
Eardrums.
like shatter eardrums. Like it would be really bad. I'm fairly certain that Blastoise, who's only is accurate at 160 feet, but can pierce through steel, is probably not as strong as the speed of sound. So I think
That's great. Like
Italian.
that's just nuts.
By the way, just to put that into more content or context, the speed of sound is 1,126 feet per second or 768 miles per hour. So Mach 3 is about 2,300 miles per hour.
So
Pretty
Italian makes
much
great hitmen.
unfathomable. Yeah, so I guess Intellion's good for something other than being creepy.
Well, an assassin's kind of creepy.
Blastoise, though, I mean, he can still punch through steel. He can still knock a can off your head at one of those like attractions at like a circus or whatever.
Yeah, but then if he misses, like blows your head off and then the can falls over, like
At least you wouldn't feel it.
that's true too. My eardrums wouldn't bust the same time my body implodes.
No doubt. It crushes its foe under its heavy body to cause fainting. In a pinch, it will withdraw inside its shell. This pressurized water jets on this brutal Pokemon's shell are used for high-speed tackles. I already said that. Once it takes aim at its enemy, it blasts out water with even more force than a fire hose. I think that's pretty obvious. Basically, what we've read so far. However, it's here's its Gigantamax entries. It's not very good at precision shooting, contrary to what the previous one said. When attacking, it just fires its 31 cannons over and over and over. Water fired from this Pokemon's central main cannon has enough power to blast a hole into a mountain. They didn't say how big the hole was.
It can be a small hole.
It could be a small hole. The Mega Blastoise's entry is the cannon on its back is as powerful as a tank gun. Its tough legs and back enable it to withstand the recoil from firing the cannon. I think it's stronger. Well, it might not be stronger than a tank round because that could probably punch through steel too. I imagine. Not quite the speed of sound, but good shiny. Shell turns green.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Is this your favorite of the three?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think, man, it's hard. Like trying to pick between the first three. I always pick Bulbasaur. But I think Charmander is my favorite now, mostly because of this show. So
I think it changes for me for each, right? Like, so I like Bulbasaur first.
Mhm.
War Total's a cool second. The third one, probably Blastoise. But then, like, the Megas when it gets really close to me. Like, that's because I do like Venusaur a lot too. So, like, but the Megas, like, I don't want to be that basic B, but Charizard X is pretty cool. Like,
it is.
like, because it changes, right? It changes colors where Blastoise is like you saw cannons, now you see you know what I mean? Like it's and Venusaur's like, you see a little tree, now we get a big tree where Charizard getting like,
yeah.
I get blue flames. And okay, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we just talked about Charizard like 3 weeks ago on the Charizard episode. Blastoise shares its category with Kabuto and Kabutops. They are all known as the shellfish Pokemon, except that makes sense for Kabuto and Kabutops, given that they're like arthropods. Early concept.
Like a type of
Yeah, they're like a horseshoe crab, like
fossil.
horseshoe crabs, horseshoe crab fossil guys. Early concept art for a Pokemon called Caravaggio resembles Blastoise that has signature water cannons. The name may be a combination of Carapace and Caravaggio. Mega Blastoise is the only Mega Evolved form of a starter Pokemon that is not a dual type. Oh, what gives? Help the guy out.
Yeah, because that's what. So, do you ever? I know you enough that I know the answer to this. Do you ever like mega bonus your Pokemon and Go?
Oh yeah, I do for special events.
I didn't think you'd be like. Do you do like the tier 3, or do you just throw it on the?
Oh, I just throw it on whatever fucking like I
saw. That makes sense.
I have specific ones for each mega, and like their nickname is Mega whatever. So
Same,
I know which ones I need to click on to get my mega.
Yeah, the same. Like doing the mega bonuses like 30 days in a row is difficult, but you're right. Like throwing on like the Swampert for the dual typing or the whatever. Like, yeah, that makes me sad for Blastoise. I just realized that. Like,
yeah, if I do,
is Venusaur's like it keeps the poison or whatever? Is that?
Yeah, I believe so. If I do raid, or if it is like a longer event that I'm actually participating, like community day or whatnot, I will turn it on.
I will say too, I want a Blastoise with the sunglasses, like the Squirtle Squad glasses.
This will make you sad. I had a ton of those and accidentally deleted like all of them.
Well, the difference is I don't know the difference between the Ed Sheeran one and the original Squirtle Squad ones. So maybe that's why I like Squirtle a little more, because I think the costumes for it are a lot more dope.
I'm looking here.
Because you can get a Squirtle Squad. I have a lucky Squirtle Squad boy for that I can make into a Blastoise one day.
Okay, so I do have that's an original Squirtle Squad. Is there a difference between that one and the Ed Sheeran one? Like
just the visually? Date. Ed Sheeran was in 2021.
Okay.
And the Squirtle Squad was 2018.
Okay, so no, I take it back. I don't have my original Squirrel Squad. I accidentally deleted all of them. Isn't that sad?
I just named all mine Ed. All my Squirtle Squads are just named Ed.
I might have evolved them into Blastoise. Let's see. Nope, I sure didn't. Yeah, they all accidentally got deleted. Isn't that sad?
Ripperoni pepperoni.
It is. I still lament that, but I at least got to do the Ed Sheeran thing. Let's see if I got any shinies. But I'm going to do this. And while I'm checking for shinies, Lane, if you wouldn't mind, tell the good people at home about yourself and what you do. I'm sure by now everybody listening to the show knows, but just in case, you never know.
I'm really mad at you because that's exactly what I was doing, was checking shinies at my house right now. No. So I do a daily show called Good Morning Johto. It's every weekday. We are kind of I don't want to say like when radio shows were big. Was it like the 70s and 80s, like morning radio? So I do like a morning radio 90s. Corny. I do a fake ad, kind of like I do a totally real ad every day.
Totally real.
Totally real. So we do like, it was 5 to 10 minutes. It's been probably 5 to 15 where we talk just go news. I got to cover, we have that new TCG set I talked about. So like covering like what the prices are, what the sets, what the tournament results. And we do that every single day. We're getting ready, hopefully this summer, to launch our coffee brand, the Good Morning Johto Java Bling coffee. That I can't wait. Like we've been working a lot on that. And then we've been like, of course, streaming stuff. So like twitch.tv/Good Morning Johto, where we stream the show. Like it's just something I do nightly. Is I have a fake, or I put a news background. I have everything out. And
no, it's real. You said fake again.
Totally real.
It's an awesome show. Definitely check it out. I listen to it every single day that it comes out. It's my primary source for Pokemon news. It really is. And it's an excellent resource in addition to being incredibly entertaining. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Good Morning Johto. It's awesome. Don't mind my sister show that has nothing to do with his show, and I didn't steal his idea at all. It's called uh, Goodnight Hoenn, um, and it's just me reading to you poems so that you can fall
Yeah,
asleep.
because the two biggest radio shows are Evening Drive and Morning. And every top guy I've ever met said the stupidest people were always the morning show people because they have to get up at 3 a.m. where the morning, like the evening guys, like I get to get home by 6. So that you just did it smart.
Yeah, I'm doing like Goodnight Moon, but I'm changing words to Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
And
Goodnight Lunatone.
yeah, you got it. Uh in the great Pokélab room, there was a Z move watch
There we go.
and a red Pokeball and a picture of Professor
Elm.
Swatch.
Yeah.
The cow, the Miltank jumping over the moon. And there were three little Teddy Ursas sitting
Yep,
on
keep
a
going.
chair, and two little Littens, and a pair of mittens,
Oh, okay.
and a little toy house, and a young a young Tandemouse.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Here, so there's something here, and a comb and a brush, and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady who is whispering, "Good night, room. Good night, Lunatone. Good night, Miltank jumping over the moon. Good night, Rotom. Good night, Drifloon. Good night, Teddy Ursa. Good night, Chair." I don't think there's a Pokemon for Chair.
there's probably Digimon, but not.
Good night, Litten. Well, there's plenty of Digimon I'd like to sit on. And good night, Mittens. Good night. Is there a clock one? I think there's probably a clock one. Good night, Socks. Good night, Little House. Good night, Tandemouse. Good night, Combi. Good night, Brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, Mush. And good night to the old little lady, probably Serena, whispering, "Shh." Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, all the little baby boys and girls everywhere.
When do you think Gracie would have cut you off?
Oh, immediately, Lane.
Yeah, I was gonna say because she knows when to reel you in. I'm like, I'm just gonna.
She knows when to rail me in. And folks, that's gonna do it for us on this episode of After DARKRAI. You can follow us on Instagram at InstaPodDog, Twitter at After DARKRAI, all that shit. Patreon.com/poddog. What else? Jaws Breakers. We just watched Shark Side of the Moon. It was fucking rad as hell. That episode is
awesome.
out now. We watched it with watchers of the stuff. And then Let's Die, the His versus Let's Die Revenant, the His versus Hers Guide to the Apocalypse. We just did an episode called Podcast of the Galaxy Volume 1. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what it's about. And then the next episode, which isn't out yet, but will be, is something about, I don't know, something Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, blah, 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 with Chris Logan from Best of the Rest. So look out for that soon. And after you go Mach 3, DARKRAI will burst through the door because he's just gotta go pee. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I don't know. We probably could have gone more blue for Blastoise, like Blast Coitus. Is there something there? Blast Cloist.
Well, definitely with
Bad.
Squirtle. Like, well, that's what I guess
Blasphemy.
you're already talking
Yeah,
about.
I guess I burned that. I burned that one already. I already used this. There's only look. We're not allowed to do any original thought here. That's why I ripped off Goodnight Moon.
Yeah. Well, it was no, that was your own. That's a parody that you were the Weird Al of Goodnight Moon.
Oh wow, thank you. I love Weird Al. He's great. I'm destined to probably look like Weird Al too, only fatter. I
At
won't have
least
to
you have that
wear.
hair.
I won't have to wear the fat suit and when I perform. I'm fat. Cause you know that I'm fat. I'm fat. I can't remember this.
Now you got to get an accordion.
Now I gotta take this whole episode down. I got DMs.
Yeah, we got
DM
copyright
got
strike.
keep copyright straight. Yeah. Goodbye forever.